Stock market today analysis for November 11th, 2022. Nasdaq up 1.88%, S&P 500 up 0.93%. U.S. Treasury market closed today. Gold up 0.95%. Bitcoin down 6.57%. Oil up 3.04%. We had finishing up this week with the earnings. Going into next week, you can see these highlighted, capitalized ticker symbols here. Those are the kind of the big dogs for that week. And it looks like we're getting lower though. Less companies reporting. Feel free to check out your favorite place to look for earnings to see when your favorite companies are reporting. The VIX, and VIX is down like, hey, fear is going away in the market. Down to 22.52. It's getting pretty low. MMRI, I think, is the same as yesterday since the bond markets were closed. This uses the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield to calculate. And we still got that same information from yesterday since the bond markets were closed. Ultimately, we still got the bond rates in the higher range of the 52-week moving average. S&P 500 up a little bit today. Less volume than yesterday, and not the strongest candle, but opened higher than yesterday's candle and continuing to close above it. And we see we're probably gonna might have a difficult time right around in this, somewhere between like probably this congestion range of 390 to 405, so maybe even 395 to 405. We'll see. We're nearing that 200-day moving average though. Next week should be pretty telling, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit that 200-day moving average next week. Technology stock. Okay, bigger movement in technology today. Low amount of volume compared to yesterday. Opened almost parallel with yesterday's close. Traded into the top 10% of yesterday's candle, and traded a little bit higher, but selling pressure brought it in. So we got a bullish candle, but not the super strongest bullish candle. Ooh, wow, look at that. Healthcare really sold off today. Traded all the way down here. But you know what's great? It's still, everything is above all three moving averages, and I'm guessing it's going to be building a base right in here at some point to potentially go higher. But yeah, we got this in this 135, 150, 135 to 134, getting stuck right in that area. So it looks like maybe it's going to be right in there with elevated amount of sellers. XLF almost have a doji here, but still opened higher, closed higher than yesterday's candle, although volume weaker compared to yesterday. We're still above that 200-day moving average though. And for consumer discretionary, all right, above the 20-day, not able to touch the 50-day yet. So slowly getting up there with volume, not as much as yesterday, but decent amount. Industrials, we got a red candle. It opened about parallel with yesterday's candle. Oh, pardon me. Opened a bit higher than yesterday's close and closed about parallel with yesterday's close, and traded almost equal to the top and the bottom. So possibly a little bit of indecision. We seem to be hitting this congestion right here, this sticky area, and back to that normal amount of volume, but above all three moving averages. So if it's staying above that, that's good. I'm guessing maybe we'd see potential pullback to 98 tomorrow. I would kind of be shocked if it dropped all the way down here to 97. Maybe we'll see it go up too, but even though I would kind of be shocked, all things possible in that wiggle room. IWM just breaking the 200-day moving average, and you see it traded much higher up into the, what was the highest price it traded? High of 188.84, so almost to 189, but selling really pressed it down to close it at 186.90. Not bad on the volume, definitely lower than yesterday, but green candle. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it went up or down. It'd be fun to see it go up. Qs. Pretty strong bullish candle there, wide body, almost as wide as yesterday's, with a little bit of more shadow on this candle to the top. Definitely longer on the bottom, but prices went up a little higher, got pushed back, opened about parallel with yesterday's close, and pressing forward. Volume is not nearly as strong as yesterday, but it's kind of in a good, seems to be in a good strength, above that 50-day moving average. If it keeps looking like that, probably be cruising up towards the 200-day. Dollar continuing to drop, and maybe that's why we see stocks continuing to pop. And we just have these, okay, getting close to that 200-day moving average, but this is the furthest I think the dollar's fallen in quite a few months, which is probably going to be pushing the price of gold up and other commodities, and probably stocks too. Bonds kind of going sideways for the day, opening in the top 50% of yesterday's candle, but not able to break yesterday's candle. Now we definitely are peeking out of this trend line the way that I have it set up right now. So right in there, somewhere in there, we're testing that trend line. Maybe depending on how you set up that top part of the channel, maybe it's not poking out of it yet, but it's kind of poking out. So in the next days to potentially weeks, we're really going to see if we're going to have a change in direction, or if it's going to have a breakout point failure and continue on to the downside, which maybe it'd get stuck kind of around here. If it gets stuck in here, maybe in this area between here and here, it might not break out to the upside. It might not break out of the channel to the upside. It might break out of the channel to the sideways side. And so that's what I'm waiting to see what might happen. Now we saw that the dollar is dropping. How did that impact? What impact did it have on oil today? Look at that. Oil really shot up. So look at this. All this price lost. 2 days later, boom, back there, but still below this candle around the 88. Seem to be in this range, which is not shocking. Good amount of volume. A dropping dollar is really helping gold. Look at that, kind of going up, 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 up. Not quite a doji, But we definitely had more trading to the upside and more trading to the downside, and sellers and buyers kind of fighting it out, kind of coming in the middle here. Well, opened here, closed here, and not as much volume as yesterday, and not nearly as big of a candle as yesterday. We'll see if we're going to be able to kind of reclaim this area of 1760. Is that going to turn into a new support, or what might happen with that? Bitcoin. Bitcoin traded pretty low on this candle. How low did that go? As low as 16,485.81 cents. Yeah, so we broke 17. Not looking good for the bulls. Really had this drop off. Tested. It kept testing this 20,000, 21,000, and ultimately was really rejected pretty hard. And that probably has also a lot to do with whatever scandal is emerging with FTX and all those other goodies. If you want to know more information on that, I'm sure your YouTube feed is full of people talking about it. So now looks like we're going to potentially be building some sort of support resistance around the low 1700s, low 17,000s, high 16,000s. So it looks like at the moment, and as long as it's going to stay here in this like high 16 to low 17, then I don't know what sort of catalyst would drive this to the upside, besides somebody somehow getting a bunch of money and buying a bunch of Bitcoin. But as far as like good news, there's a lot of bad news just keeps coming out with different type of crypto things. So maybe some lower prices are in the future. And you can always paper trade. You could even paper trade Bitcoin without having a simulated trading account. For example, let's say if you wanted to short it, and you could short it right now. You just write down on a piece of paper what the price is at, and then watch it, and then maybe even on your piece of paper, maybe set up a fake exit order. So let's say you're going short at 16,830, and then you set your exit for, I don't know, 16,300, and then next time you look, see if it made it down into that price range, or however you want to do it. But you don't have to always have some sort of simulated account. You could just do real paper trading. When you're ready to learn how to sell some cash secured put options on stocks that you wouldn't mind owning the rest of your life, go to IWMSuccess.com. Download any of this stuff. There will be some new stuff in the future. I'm ironing out the wrinkles as we speak. And then generally 6 days a week, I'm going to send you some stock market information stuff. For the last couple days, I was under the weather, so I wasn't. I apologize on that. But hey, I'm only human, flesh and blood, born to sooner or later go under the weather. So with that, my friends, go to IWMSuccess.com, download your stuff, do some paper trading. Let's have some fun trading the markets. Aloha.